Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Imagine a time of the year when the sun's out bright, there are blue skies, people are driving with the windows down, and going to the beach becomes an everyday necessity to some people. Yes, the time I'm talking about is the summer, and it is a great time of the year indeed. We all have that one day of the year that is dedicated to the celebration of our birth, and for me, that happens to fall in the month of June. June 20th, 1992, to be exact, I was brought into this world, and let me tell you, there is more to the month of the year than just my birthday. To get a better idea and get a look at the time period of June 1992, I'm going to go through and we're going to go back 20 years and take a look at some historic and interesting events. Some funny, some interesting, and kind of just see what it was like in June 1992. One of the best ways to look at the current economic status at that time period is by looking at the price of unleaded gasoline. In June, gasoline prices reached the highest level since the beginning of the Persian Gulf War, which was actually 18 months before June. Still, the price of gasoline was a measly $1.18 a gallon. Oh, how 20 years can impact it in such a negative way. To see the other side of $3 a gallon right now would be a blessing to all of us. It's crazy to think that they considered that a rise and a scare for it to go up to $1.18 a gallon. And to go along the same lines, some of the popular songs of June 1992 were Jump by Criss Cross, Mariah Carey's I'll Be There, and of course, the song we all know, Sir Mix-a-Lot's Baby Got Back. Additionally, when it came to the box office during June 1992, it is important to take a look at June 19th as a very historic day, as Batman Returns hits theaters all over the United States. Superhero movies were always something that I idolized personally during my childhood, and this movie is no different. I definitely watched this movie several times, and it still gets me when I watch it. It's always interests me, and I'm surprised by it. And it surprised a lot of other people too. With Batman, Catwoman, and the emergence of the Penguin, along with the actors and actresses ranging from Danny DeVito and Michael Keaton to Michelle Pfeiffer, many moviegoers found themselves packing movie theaters nationwide. And the statistics don't lie. In the opening weekend alone, Batman Returns was said to have made a whopping $45.6 million in the United States, and an estimated $80 million nationwide. That's amazing to say the least, especially during that time period. To have $80 million worth of revenue from that in one weekend, it baffles me. On another note, in the sports world, baseball history was made actually on my birthday, June 20th, at Camden Yards in Baltimore, Maryland, during the New York Yankees and Baltimore Orioles game, where Kelly Saunders became the very first female to be a public address announcer for a Major League Baseball game. She was thrown into the spot, and it was completely not planned, but she took it after the Orioles public address announcer of 23 years actually had his right leg amputated due to circulation problem. So she grabbed the reins, and let me tell you, she succeeded. It's a monumental event because this is a great moment in history when a woman and a man are made equal, even in the level of sports. She was given a chance that always men were filled with and saying, men do this, men are always being announcers, women can't do that. And she went out there, she did it, and she made men and women everywhere proud. Lastly, there's a funny event in 1992 that I find to be outrageous and kind of goofy. We all know New York City and the crazy, bustling world that it is, where it's an absolute pain in the butt to get around everywhere. They decided to come up with an idea, and I'm honestly a little surprised that it works. They decided to make four public restrooms to be specific, that people would be charged, yes, charged, to use every single time. The cost? Just a quarter per use for men and women of all ages, and free for individuals who are disabled. Still, I feel like that's very, very pathetic because it's like everyone has to go to the bathroom and they're charging for something that our bodies need. Our bodies need to constantly, use the restrooms. Otherwise, we're gonna have all kinds of problems. And as much as I want to say that the idea was a complete bust, more than 40,000 people used the bathrooms before they were dismantled the following November, as the law against public restrooms was said to expire. It's amazing that it worked. It's amazing that it stuck around for the months that it did. But I guess, like they say, in the city that never sleeps, like New York, I guess anything can work. So I find that to be a really interesting topic and idea in June, because I never thought that anybody would ever think of that and that it would actually work and they would get revenue out of it. But I guess they did. So looking back at June of 1992, I find it to be a very interesting time, and it's very cool to see how much the world has changed since then, how the essence of money really has changed. Like the whole idea about the gasoline and how it literally is $2 more nowadays at the least. It's just crazy to think that they thought they were in an economic problem then when it was $1.18. Now we are sitting here thinking, man, I wish that it could be just $2 or $3. But, just like everything in this world, things change with, the economy and the status. And I think it's really cool that to take a look back and see how much things have changed. And I think we take that for granted. We take for granted the months that go by and just think that it's just another month. Nothing really important or interesting happened. But you can really take a step back and look at every single thing or every single month and see that there actually is an important lesson or an important thing that happened that brought someone or sparked someone's interest. So I thank you all for your time, and I hope you learned a little bit more about June 1992, and I hope you enjoyed it. I think that it was a very fantastic, month, obviously, because I was born, but it's really cool to step back and think about, besides your birth date, what else happened during that year, because you didn't really know. You didn't really know what was going on with the world. And it turns out there actually was a lot going on, really interesting things. So I really hope you enjoyed them as much as I did, and I hope you guys all have a nice day. Thank you.